Hey everyone, this is Dark Storm Comic Reviews here, and today we're doing a comic book review on the Sonic Super Special. This just isn't any Super Special. In this Super Special, Sonic and his friends travel to the Image Comics universe of the 1990s. And I saw this would be a fun one to do, fun one to talk about, to review, So, here we got Sonic. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you before you go into this. I'm not a huge Sonic fan, and the only reason I bought this one is because it has Sonic and the Image characters together. And I am a fan of Image Comics though. So the main reason I got this was because I'm an Image Comics fan. I love Image Comics from the early '90s, and seeing some of the characters of that universe crossover with Sonic, it's just unique. It's unique. It's fun. It's interesting. Yeah. Again, I'm not a huge Sonic fan. I'm going to be completely honest with you. As I am an Image fan, because see with this I can tell you that one's ShadowHawk, that's Savage Dragon, that's Union, I believe. I don't know who she is often. I forgot who she was. I think her name's Velocity or something. That's the Max, and that's Spawn. Obviously, even if you're not an Image fan, you know who Spawn is. And particularly the one I'm a fan of, the Image Comics character. I'm really a fan of. I know who these guys are, but the one I'm a huge fan of is ShadowHawk. I love ShadowHawk. I think he's a cool character. And it actually, a bit of an interesting fact, this is the second version of ShadowHawk. Eddie Collins, and he's a 16-year-old kid. He kind of discovers the armor, and he ends up using it, and he uses it to become a good guy. The first ShadowHawk was Paul Johnstone. He was an African-American attorney who also wore the ShadowHawk armor. I'll get into that when I review ShadowHawk, but we're not going to get too deep into that. But anyways, obviously this is Sonic the Hedgehog, this is Knuckles, and I'm going to be honest, after that, I don't know who any of these characters are. I know the first, Sonic, Knuckles, and then Tails. Okay, I know who those three are, because, I'm just a very basic, my Sonic knowledge is very basic. I don't know who this lady is, I don't know who that person is. I do know these characters were a part of a Sonic cartoon back in the 90s. If you guys in the comments want to fill me in, if you're Sonic fans, let me know who these characters are, because I don't have a lot of knowledge on Sonic. I played some of the games when I was younger, but I'm not a super big ultra fan. I had a friend who who was a huge Sonic fan. He loves the characters. He knows all the lore and stuff. But me, I'm very basic, and I'm actually pretty basic with Image. I know. Outside of their names, I don't know too much about these characters. I haven't really read the Max. I'm not really a huge Spawn fan. I like the movie, but the comics, meh. ShadowHawk is awesome, though. Especially, I love the first ShadowHawk. Paul Johnstone, he's the best. But anyways, it's just cool. It's the Sonic characters, and they crossover, they have a crossover with the Image Comics characters of the 90s, and that's why I got this. It's mainly because, again, I'm a huge Image Comics fan. I'm not a huge, but I am a fan. Not a huge Sonic fan, but to see these two cross over together is really, really cool. And, and I just found this at a local video game store. I got it for $1, and I thought I'd just talk about it. We got Archie here, who did the Sonic comics, and we got Image Comics here, who obviously did these characters. You can see they have a very cartoony style, much like the Sonic characters, and I really dig that a lot. I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, I don't like that, because, the Image Comics characters are always super violent. Why are they drawn very animated looking? And I get that point. I'm not trying to hate on anybody who thinks that way. I get that point too. But for this crossover, I think it works. Here's the cover. And here's the bad guy who I can't really remember. He's not the most important part of the story, to be honest. But yeah, let's get into this. Into the story. Got this cool little opening shot here. ShadowHawk, Savage Dragon, and I don't know who that is. It's some random lady. Tails, Sonic, is friends. I'm just going to refer to them as friends because I don't really know their names. I've seen them before. I've seen their designs. I just don't know their names. Okay, but our story starts out, and also I'm not going to go over this, but they wrote this cool letter about how the people who worked on the comic wrote this cool letter about how the crossover came to be, how the people at Archie contacted the people at Image, and they got this Sonic Image Comics crossover together, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not going to go over it. I just thought I'd mention it to you guys. But anyways, If you want to read it, you know, you can probably find this comic on eBay or whatever, super duper cheap. I got it for like $1. But I'm not going to go over here. So we're just going to get into the story. There's this lady called Particle. And basically what happens is she's telling these two people... basically, Particle is a lady who has, like, these... she's a mutant. She has, like, some type of mutant powers. I think it's, like... She has the power to teleport to other places and other worlds and stuff like that. And she's talking to these two guys about her experiences with traveling to, like, other worlds or other dimensions. And so, yeah, she's talking about her experiences. I think, oh, my bad. She doesn't have teleporting powers. I do know she is a mutant, but she doesn't have teleporting powers. I think she uses a machine to get to the different dimensions. My bad. But anyway, she's talking about her, you know, experiences traveling to different worlds and different dimensions. Pretty cool stuff. And she ends up going into the world of Sonic the Hedgehog and his friends. See over here we got Sonic. This, I know comments are going to chew me out for this, but the Hippo guy. We got, you know, Tails. I know who Tails is. And we got this squirrel, chipmunk lady, a rabbit, and I don't know, I guess like a wolf or something, a dog. I don't know who most of these characters are. But Particle is in Sonic's world, and, you know, and again, this comic book, I believe, I'm making a theory on this, because I don't know for sure, but I think this Sonic comic book series, you know, this isn't just a one-time thing. The Sonic thing isn't just a one-time thing. Sonic has had a comic book series in the 90s for a long time. They just did the special crossover, but I believe Sonic and his friends here are from a cartoon in the 90s that came out years ago, back in the 90s, but I can't remember what it is. But anyways, so the Sonic comics are based off of that cartoon in the 90s. So, you know, if you're a Sonic fan, you'll get some of these references. But anyway, Sonic's like, oh, look, it's a human. Like, what's a human doing here? We're like humans aren't supposed to be where we are. You know, we're against the humans right now. Because in the cartoon, I think the whole thing is like the humans took control. I don't know this for sure. The humans, like, took control of the world where Sonic lives in. And, like, it's basically one of those things where, like, the humanoid animals are going against the humans, and the humans don't like the humanoid animals like Sonic and them, so they're trying to, like, the humans are, like, trying to get rid of the humanoid animals because they don't seem natural and stuff. So it's like a civil war. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes, where the apes are trying to go against, the humanoid apes are trying to go against the humans. And, like, if you guys remember that old Spider-Man cartoon from the 90s, Spider-Man Unlimited, where you got humans, and then you got the humanoid animals, and they're trying to go against each other. The bestials versus the humans. It's like that. It's like a humans versus humanoid animals type of situation. So yeah, so they're like, oh, what's this human doing here? He's not supposed to be where we are, you know. And the lady's like, whoa, this universe is so crazy. Like, you know, and, I mean, there's humanoid talking animals. I mean, this is crazy. What's going on here? These creatures are sentient. And Sonic and Tails are like, what's this person up to? Like, is she dangerous? Is she a threat? Should we take care of her? Should we attack her? You know, just all gang up on her? And again, I like the cartoon art style. It fits Sonic and, you know, them really well. But anyway, so yeah, Sonic's like, you know, yeah, let's gang up on her. Let's take her down. And she's like, oh, wait, hey, I'm not here to attack you. You know, I'm not here to threaten you guys, but, you know, I can't have you guys screwing up my plans either, so I'm gonna zap you with this little machine. And it doesn't hurt him or anything, but it just kind of like, knocks him out. And so Particle here is like, okay, I've got to get what I came here for. And the reason she's in this dimension, the Sonic world, is because she's looking for the Chaos Emerald, which is like a big thing in the video games. Yeah, and she goes there. She goes down this tunnel. Got a little ad here. Goes down this tunnel. She goes down here. She finds the Chaos Emerald, and she's like, "Oh, look, it's an elephant, humanoid elephant, but he's suspended in the Chaos Emerald." Yeah, I almost forgot the name. He's suspended in the Chaos Emerald. And she's like, "Oh, I gotta get this Chaos Emerald." And then who else but Knuckles shows up, and you know, he's saying, "Hey, like, lady, back off. You know, like, you know, don't touch that. I'm the protector of this." And she's like, I'm not here to harm anybody. Like, let's just shake hands and be friends. And okay, so she shakes his hand, and he's like, cool, but I'm still gonna have to arrest you for trying to steal that chaos emerald. And then the lady takes his hand and she like zaps him or something. I don't know what she does, but she zaps him or something and like knocks him out just like he did the other guys. And she's like, okay, I gotta take this emerald now. And I think she does, or I think she takes the power of the emerald or something like that. And she gets teleported back to where she was. She ends up getting the emerald back and takes it back to the people who, need it or whatever. And then she gets stopped by these two FBI agents who are like spoofs of X-Files characters. Agent Molly and Skolder. I'm not an X-Files fan, so I don't really keep up with that show, or I don't even really remember their names. But they're these FBI agents here are like spoofs of the X-Files protagonists. If you're familiar with that show, they just kind of spoof their names basically. It's not really that important. Like her, I think they mentioned their names somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't really matter though. But anyway, she's got him. She's about to shoot Particle, and then Particle's like, you're not going to do that. And then she just like knocks her out, just like all the other ones. Just kind of funny how she does that. And then she's escaping, and they're like, oh, we need to go catch her. And then, so they need to go find her. Kind of takes a few pages before we get to the really fun stuff, but this is the setup, That's how setup goes. And so we end up at this store, at this comic store, I think, or no, wait, I think it's a hardware store. I think it's a hardware store. Collins and Son, they go to the store. They're talking to Eddie Collins' father, who I mentioned. Eddie Collins is the second Darkhawk. The second ShadowHawk. Darkhawk is a Marvel character who I also really love too. He's from Marvel, but I mean ShadowHawk. Lord. Eddie Collins, who is the second ShadowHawk. The second person to wear the ShadowHawk armor. He's a 16-year-old. He takes on the mantle and he becomes more of a good guy. The first ShadowHawk, Paul Johnstone, guy I told you about earlier, he was actually more of an anti-hero. He would handicap people. Instead of just killing them, he would like handicap them. He would like break their spines and like immobilize them. But with the second ShadowHawk, Eddie Collins, he is a good guy. He uses his armor to be a good guy, not really much of an anti-hero. More like a Spider. Eddie Collins is a Spider-Man type character. That's the best way I can describe it. So he's kind of generic, but it's whatever. But I still like him though. I like the armor. It's cool. But anyways, they're talking to Eddie Collins' father. They're like, hey, what's up? The strange things that's going on here. This lady and all that. And he's like, I don't know if I know that much, but my son Eddie might. And so he calls on Eddie, who's wearing an Alfred E. Newman shirt, which is hilarious. If you know what the Mad comics are, you'll get that. Mad magazines are, you'll get that reference. He was like, hey kid, do you have anything that you'd like to tell us about? And he's freaking out because they think they know about his ShadowHawk identity at first. And, see, they found a picture of ShadowHawk, and then and there's like, hey, do you know who this guy is? And they don't know that he's ShadowHawk basically, but they ask him, do you know anything about that lady? Have you run into any strange events? And then he goes, Eddie Collins here, this kid goes into like the backstory of something weird he found out a couple days ago, where he saw this like flash of light and stuff. It's kind of like firework explosion. And he's walking around and he looks into this alleyway where we see none other than Sonic. This is where the cool stuff comes in. Sonic and friends. We got Knuckles. We got random characters. Sonic, and then we got Spawn in the background. That's right, people. This actually happened. Sonic the Hedgehog met Spawn. Can you believe that? People are saying like, oh, I think it would have been cool, or I don't know. Someone said something where it was like I think it would be cool if Sonic appeared in a fighting game or whatever, other than Smash Bros. And I'm like, well, he went to the Image Comics universe, so pretty much anything is possible up to that point. People say, oh, cool, we met Mario, which is okay, I guess, but this is way cooler in my opinion. because the Image characters are very violent, nasty characters. Like they're pretty violent compared to. I mean, they're not like super violent, but they're like they get away with more stuff than Marvel does. So it's interesting to see these colorful cartoon characters interact with these dark Image characters of the '90s. Like it's just so cool. I love the cartoon style that Spawn's shown in. I know a lot of people probably don't like it, but for the sake of this crossover, I think it's cool. He fits. It makes him fit more in with Sonic and them, so it's cool. Just soak it in, guys. Just soak it in. Sonic, not ugly Sonic, just regular Sonic, in meeting Spawn. I mean, look at this. I mean, just do you see it? Do you feel it? Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs? Like look at this. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? But yeah, it's super duper cool. So they meet up with Spawn, and they're like, "Hey, Sonic's like, hey, Spawn, could you help us out? Like, we don't know how we got here. We don't know what we're doing." And of course, Spawn could care less, and he's like, "I gotta go cry into an alley now about Wanda or something like that. So I'm gonna bail on this situation." And I will say that is all we do get a Spawn. It's kind of a shame, but it also kind of fits with this character. Because I could see Spawn not wanting to get involved with this. Because I'm going to be honest, I love the Spawn movie. The Spawn movie's awesome, but the comics themselves, they're just so boring to me. Because all Spawn does throughout the 2 issues, I've only read 2 issues, but from what I've seen in reviews in the 2 issues I've read, all he does is pretty much cry about Wanda, like his girlfriend that he lost, and it's just like, I just don't care. I don't care for those like mopey characters. Same problem I have with Batman, but that's a story for another day. Anyway, Spawn leaves, and they're like, really, dude, this guy just bailed on us. He's such a jerk. But it's still cool nonetheless. And then we get they're talking like, what are we supposed to do? And then Eddie shows up and he's like, I love you guys, because, in the Image Comics universe, because they're in the Image Comics universe, just want to make it clear on that. They're not in their Sonic universe anymore. They're in the Image Comics universe of the 90s. So in this reality, in the Image universe, Sonic and them are all cartoons. Like, they're cartoon characters. They're video games. They're not real. They're fictional characters. Like what it would be like in the real world if they showed up in the real world. But they're like, Eddie's like, oh, cool, nice Halloween costumes, kids. And they're like, we're not kids. We're not kids, you dummy. Like, we're the real deal. And then Eddie's like, okay, well, are you sure? Because I played video games with you guys, and I've read your comic books. Those seem like really cool costumes. Like, no, we're real. We're real. And it's fine. And then they're like, and he's like, okay, well, what's the deal? And this lady goes, we're trying to find the Chaos Emerald. We don't know where it is. Would you like to help out? And he's like, yeah, let's go. I'm down. And also Knuckles explains that his world that he was ruling or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm just not that much of a Sonic fan to really know or remember. But some place that Knuckles was living in got like flooded or something. And so he's like, I don't know how that happened. I don't know what the deal is. But anyways, basically what happens is, and here's this really awesome art by, I like when Image does these cool looking artworks. Right, I'm going to rip I'll give you guys a decent look at it though. Here's a really cool art poster cover. I think drawn by an Image artist, I believe. So I actually get to see the Sonic characters in an Image art style, and it's really cool. We got ShadowHawk here. I'm not going to go into this too long, but we got ShadowHawk here. Really cool. Eddie Collins, ShadowHawk. We got Union. We got Velocity, I believe. I don't know where she's from. Sonic up here. Try to pull this up so you can see the top part. We got Savage Dragon holding the chipmunk lady. I believe this is the Max over here with the rabbit lady. We got Spawn, of course. And this lady. I don't know who she is. I think that's Particle, maybe. I don't remember. But cool picture overall. I'm not going to zoom on. If you want to actually look at this, you can buy the book pretty cheaply, but I'll show you a little bit of it. But yeah, cool picture, cool little crossover matchup. Get to see the Sonic characters in an Image art style. It's pretty cool. you can tell it's the Image art style because the Image characters look like they came from their books and not all cartoony like in this book. But, anyways, they're trying to figure out where to find the Chaos Emerald. You know, Knuckles is like, I can do this myself, and then the lady's like, oh, you need help. You know, you don't have to be independent all the time. And it shows a flashback of them in their Sonic universe. Apparently, they take this car here. It's very important because it helps the Sonic crew travel to like different dimensions, and that explains why they got here. Because basically, what happened was Knuckles got knocked out by the particle lady, as we saw earlier. He woke up, then like his place he was living in got flooded with water. So Knuckles came to the Sonic crew for help. You know, because like I don't know what the lady was doing. The lady wanted the Chaos Emerald. She took it. And my house flooded or whatever, so I need you guys' help to go get the Chaos Emerald back and maybe fix my house or whatever. And so the crew wants to help Knuckles out, so they travel into their dimensional traveling car. And they're going, and the car actually travels to a bunch of different dimensions. It's pretty cool, I guess. And they end up finding the Image Universe. They're tracking the Chaos Emerald with the device that Particle took. And they find that it's at the Image Universe. This is the Image Universe right here. This planet with like red stuff on it. And then they go into the universe, and that basically just explains how they got here. And this is where they go, hey, Eddie, you want to help us out? And Eddie gives this like really weird smile. But he's like, yeah, cool, let's do it. And so it's cool because he puts on the ShadowHawk armor. Yeah, I love the ShadowHawk armor a lot. And here's the logo for the book, but I love the armor a lot, even though it's not. Paul Johnstone is my favorite ShadowHawk. He's the first one, and Eddie Collins is okay. It's kind of generic, but I still love the armor regardless of who wears it. And so Eddie Collins' ShadowHawk comes out. Like, let's go. And so they go. And at first, one of the characters thinks ShadowHawk is a person from their universe, like a robot, an evil robot or something. But no, Sonic's like, no, he's just a kid in armor. And so they team up. You know, there's some cool banter, I guess. You know, they're talking to each other. It's just cool seeing the Sonic characters in the Image universe. Like, it's interesting because the Image universe is just a very dark universe, and Sonic is very. I mean, it's more light and more friendly. It's got an attitude to it, I guess, but it's more light and friendly compared to the Image universe because the Image universe can get pretty violent. But they're tracking the Emerald thing, and that's where we run into our next cameo. Shadowhawk is like, let's go in there. That's where we run to our next cameo. On ShadowHawk, you can't really tell. But with Savage Dragon, you can. He's drawn in a very cartoony style. It's matched the Sonic characters. He's got a very big chin. The Savage Dragon, who's another Image Comics character. He's basically Savage Dragon. He's like a cop in the Image universe. He's kind of a superhuman, kind of not. He kind of, arrests other superheroes. He doesn't really like superheroes. He's more of like a respectable cop who follows the laws and will arrest people with superpowers if they're committing evil. Basically what his story is. But Savage Dragon's like, hey, what's that over there? See, they're all drawn pretty cartoony, even the civilians. Savage Dragon's like, I gotta stop these guys. Shadowhawk's like, oh, it's Savage Dragon. And Sonic goes, that's not a dragon. We've dealt with the dragon in our universe. We just haven't seen him in a while. Shadowhawk's like, what are you talking about? Who's this random dragon you're talking about? And then Sonic goes, oh, she's just a dragon in our universe. And Shadowhawk's like, well, no, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about that guy over there. And we get this cool thing of Savage Dragon. And he's like blowing his guns. And he's got this really cool cartoony style, which I kind of dig, at least for this crossover. Anywhere else it would seem silly, but it works for this crossover really well. Keep going. The hippo guy's like, Shadowhawk, could you get your friend to stop, trying to kill us? And Shadowhawk's like, yeah, I'll find a way to stop this. So he does. Shadowhawk's like, dude, what are you doing? Quit trying to shoot at us. We're not doing anything wrong. And then Savage Dragon's like, what the heck? That card is transformed into like something else. And it's like, what's the deal here? And then Union, another Image character, shows up. It's like a Superman type character. I think Image Comics had like two Superman type characters. It was Union and Supreme. They're like the two Superman characters of the Image universe. But this is Union. So Union shows up to help Shadowhawk and Savage Dragon. Union's this guy right here. Yeah, that's Union. They go fly off to track down Sonic and his friends, see what they're up to. train going by, and Sonic and his friends are captured. I believe they're still in the Image universe, and this bad guy tries to explain what's happening. And honestly, I'm trying to remember. I basically this guy knows Sonic and them from the future, but they haven't met him yet, or Sonic has met him, but Knuckles hadn't. He's like this bad guy from the future who wants to destroy Sonic and his friends, or he wants more power or whatever. He's a bad guy. That's basically what it gets down to. It's not that interesting. But anyways, the ShadowHawk, Savage Dragon, and Union pop in to take him out. The bad guy's like, my robots take him down. So they do, or try to at least. Union goes in for the attack, shoots the emerald, and it causes all sorts of chaos. Yeah, I didn't even plan for that one. But the Chaos Emerald, causes a lot of action, causes a lot of chaos. And they get sent to the Sonic universe. They all get into the Sonic universe and the robots are trying to go after the Chaos Emerald. Everybody's all knocked out and everything. Men down. The evil guy's looking very evil. He's like, yeah, I got this power now, let's go. He's very happy with himself. And then the particle lady's like, okay, I did your job for you. You hired me to do a job, I did it. Why don't you let these guys go? And he's like, no, I'm not, because I'm evil. And plus you're mutant, like I said before, Particle's a mutant. He's like, oh, your mutant ability are too good for me to let you and your friends go, and I'm going to keep you to use you to my own purposes. And then there's a box that shows up, and he's like, oh, do you got it? And I think they think it's the Chaos Emerald, but turns out it's not. He's like, what's in the box? What's all that rumbling? And but anyways, Particle, the reason I remember now. So the reason why she made the deal with this evil guy here, the mutant girl, is because she wanted to free her sister, and her sister's locked up in these jail cells with a bunch of other characters. So we got this guy locked up. So we got references to Batman. We got references to Spider-Man over here, as you can see. Spider-Man's here too. I have no idea who this guy is. I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, got a couple random characters in here. The lady frees her sister's free, everybody's happy. And then we get this other awesome cameo where the Max breaks out of the box. And boom, yep, it's the Max, another Image character, drawn in cartoonish style. And the Max is hard to explain. So I watched a review that a popular YouTube channel did it from. The YouTube channel is called Comic Pop, and they did a review of the Max. And I'm just gonna say it. The Max is a really weird comic book. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it at there. If you want more information on the Max, you can look it up. It's a really weird comic book. That's all I'm gonna say for the Max. Because if I try to describe it, I'm gonna confuse people and I'm gonna confuse myself. So just watch. You know what you should do? Go on YouTube and look up Comic Pop's The Max Review. That'll solve all your answers to any questions you have on this character. Because all I'm going to tell you is it's a weird comic, and it was created by the Image in the early '90s, and he was a comic that was with Spawn, ShadowHawk, and all the others. So there you go. That's all I got on the Max. But anyways, Max is here. Here, Yugen shows up for battle. And the whole gang is here. And they're getting ready for a fight. The Sonic characters meet the Image characters. Sorry, my hands are getting kind of tired. Anyways, yeah, okay, so Sonic meets up Velocity and Savage Dragon. They just try to catch up. Sonic's like, hey, we got a job to do. So they all team up together. Sonic characters and the Image characters unite. And yeah, they just team up. And then there's a funny joke where Velocity's power is she's super fast, and Sonic's like, now I'm faster than you, and she's like, now I'm faster than you, and they kind of joke around with that. We get this cool shot of Sonic running with Velocity over here, who I don't remember what team she's from, but she's an Image character. and Sonic shows up, and then Velocity shows up, trying to get the emerald. The Max throws the emerald at these guards over here, and Sonic's like, "What is that idiot doing?" Chaos Emerald's like full of energy. He could like destroy the world or whatever. Velocity's like, "Hey Sonic, you need to chill. We just need to get that Chaos Emerald back." So I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go left. You're gonna go right. The bad guy's trying to like use the Chaos Emerald to his own purposes. And he like warps reality. He basically uses the Chaos Emerald to warp the Sonic reality into something else. Into like this field or whatever, and everybody's all shocked and surprised. And he's like, "Oh, but guess what else I can do?" And he zaps again, and he morphs it back into the Sonic reality. Got the people, and you got the humans here. He tells the Sonic world because of all the metal and stuff, but Knuckles is like, "Yeah, you're not going to get away with this." And then Knuckles is apparently like a warrior of some kind, I guess. I don't know. Knuckles is like some kind of warrior. And then the bad guys like telling all the robot guys to like attack Knuckles. And Knuckles uses like a mental trick or whatever. And then you get to see this cool action sequence of all of them fighting. Got Sonic here pinballing off the robots. You got Savage Dragon like hitting this guy. It's pretty cool. You got the Max punching the dude in the face. Or bopping them together, I guess. Union beats up a couple robots too. Got Velocity in the background, and you got Tails. Knuckles is like talking to like his Knuckles is like talking to, there we go. Sorry for that, guys. Knuckles is like talking to like his dad or something from the past. And Knuckles does this thing where he's able to fix everything. He does like a mind trick or something, and like he gets everybody teleported back to where they need to be. You see, it's like this kind of cool explosion here. It's a pretty cool picture. Yeah, but they all get sent back to their universe. The Image characters go back to their universe. They put the bad guy in jail. ShadowHawk's like, "Oh, yay, we did it. We're awesome." Then Eddie's like, and then yeah, it's like, "Yeah, that's what happened." And the agents are like, "Yeah, we did a good job." That's a pretty, the lady is like, "Oh, I think the kid's lying," but then the other guy's like, "Oh, well, I think he was telling the truth. I mean, we have superheroes in tights, for goodness sake. Anything can happen." I mean, have you seen Spider-Man: No Way Home? I'm just kidding. I mean, we saw freaking three Peter Parkers come back. But I was joking on that. No Way Home's not in this. I thought it was funny. But anyways, they're like, "Yeah, we did a good job," And then we see the Sonic universe, and then the lady over here is like, "Oh, there's a lot of work to do. The humans are still kind of after us. They don't like us that much. I hope Sonic and Tails are okay, going off and doing their own thing." And then Knuckles is like, "Cool, I got the Chaos Emerald back because my home is restored." And the FBI agents are like, "Cool, and the lady's writing up a report about her events, and then we get this last page, Tails and Sonic just chilling, having a good time, and that's the end. And yeah, it's not, again, by the way I was talking, you could probably tell, it's not the greatest crossover of all time. I wouldn't even put it in my top 5 or 10, but it's unique. It's unique to see Sonic, characters, very cartoony, more friendly characters, team up with very hardened, the Image characters in the 90s are very violent. Like, some of the comics involve heads getting cut off or taken off, or blood and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see these colorful characters team up with these Image characters. And I figured not a lot of people really talked about it. And again, I love Image comics. I love some of the characters. That's why I really wanted to talk about this crossover. Image just had some very unique crossovers, especially back in the 90s. There's one with ShadowHawk where ShadowHawk teams up with Vampirella. that's a pretty interesting crossover. People in Vampirella's like, the sexy vampire lady. You've seen her before. If you haven't read about her, you've seen her on comic covers and stuff. But Image Comics has had some very unique comic crossovers, especially back in the day. Not a whole lot now, but back in the day they surely did, and this is a good example of them. Yeah, this is just a fun little crossover I wanted to talk about. Nothing big, nothing huge. Story is kind of forgettable. The best thing about the story is that you get to see these crossovers with these characters that you may not see again. Who knows? It's Image, so they could easily do it again. I don't see why Sega wouldn't say no. But yeah, I like this crossover a lot. This was good, and I enjoyed talking about it. This is a Dark Storm Comic Reviews signing off. Everybody, I hope you all have a good day.